Oh man, so the decoupling continues. You've got the equity markets bouncing, another green day, trying to close the week green. But crypto continues to fall. Bitcoin down 1.5%, Fantom down 6%. What is going on? Why are all coins continuing to bleed? Why is crypto falling despite the Nasdaq and equities continuing to climb? We're going to break that down. I'm going to show you exactly the levels I'm seeing that Fantom could reach on the charts, as well as Bitcoin. We're also going to look at the equity markets to understand what is going on. Will this continue, or will crypto start to follow the equity markets and bounce too? Don't forget to hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, if you want to trade these moves with me, check out PRIMEXBT, links in the description. They've been kind enough to offer this community up to $7,000 free bonuses when you deposit. So get your deposit done, click the link in the description, use my coupon code when you deposit, that's Ijaz1, and when you get in, make sure you deposit and trade some of these trades with me. So as you can see here, we're going to come onto the Fantom chart very shortly, but I want to show you the Bitcoin chart first. And as you know, we've been in this range for ages, right? And I posted a video earlier on today explaining what are some of the more broader weaknesses with crypto. But what I want to focus on today is you're down 1.2% on Bitcoin. You're at this precarious level, which if we lose it, remember, we could start heading down to lower price points. I'm going to be very specific in a little bit, but you can see US markets are rallying. You got 1.1% up on the Dow, you're 1.8 on the S&P, and you're 2.6% up on the Nasdaq, which is your high growth stocks. What is going on? Why are they rallying? Are they actually going to close the week here in green? Whilst if we come on to Bitcoin, you can see that our weekly candle is another red weekly candle. Let me just show you that, and you can see it's been another ugly week for Bitcoin with a red candle at an important level. So what is going on? Let's try to understand this a little bit better. So let's take a look at the latest headline that came out today. And this was really important. This was a very important piece of economic news that came out. And it's the PCE number. So for those who aren't familiar, that's the Core Personal Consumption Expenditure Price Index. Bit of a mouthful, PCE for short. And in essence, what it does is it gives you an indication of inflation. It's one of the Fed's favorite ones. We know there's some weaknesses in CPI. The Fed, of course, look at CPI, but they also look at this figure as well, which is the PCE. So we need to monitor that as well. Now, the PCE rose 4.9% year on year in April, but that year on year figure in the previous month, March, was 5.2. So it's given the markets reason to believe that inflation is cooling down. I'm going to explain why this is so significant shortly. So the headline PCE rose just 0.2% month on month, but in the previous month, in March, it rose 0.9. So that's a big change, right? So 0.2% month on month annualized is a 2.4% annual rate, which is getting close to where the Fed wants things to be. So this was a really good indication for the market that things are starting to slow down. Now, what we could also see from the report was that spending was still up. Consumers were still spending, but we noticed an important difference. Personal income rose slightly less than expected, okay? That's important. So in other words, what that means is consumers still want to go out to bars, still want to go out to restaurants and live their life, but they're having to tap into their savings to do so. Now remember, due to the unprecedented amount of printing that was going on, consumers do have some excess savings in the bank account. Once that taps out, once that's been used, and it's not going to get replenished, right? That's the idea. Jerome Powell's not going to be printing money. He's taking money out of the system. So at that point, things should start to squeeze, less expenditure going on, and inflation should really come down quite drastically from there. So the markets are feeling confident that Jerome Powell is the man with a plan. He's getting it working, and inflation is coming down. But that does not bode well for crypto, right? Bitcoin is given this narrative of being this hedge against inflation. In an inflationary environment, you expect Bitcoin to really start moving to the upside. So if we're now in an environment where, hang on a second, we've got through peak inflation, things are starting to come down, is the narrative now that Bitcoin will fall? And that's why we're seeing a bunch of weakness here in Bitcoin. Obviously, from a technical level, we're entering this important level. If we break down from this level, we could well be heading to pivot point number 3, which is what you can see here. And that sits at about 26,200. So if we lose this blue line here, which is sitting at 28,600, then we will be heading down to pivot point 3. That is the personal move I'd be looking at. If you guys want to go ahead and trade that, you can do so. PRIMEXBT, links in description. Get your bonus and trade it for free with your bonus, right? Practice your trading. Make sure you've got your stop losses. Make sure you've got your take profits. Make sure you've got your reason for trading, and go ahead and place those trades. The only way to learn how to trade is to start doing it. So feel free to start making some of those trades right now. Now, the other option which you want to look at is, can Bitcoin now run to the top of the wedge again, right? Because we've had this a few times. We went from the bottom to the top, nice trade. You then went from here to here, nice trade. You went again, that could have been a nice trade. Will we go up again? Now, the reason I'm not too confident on that is the lower highs that have been created. You created a high and then a lower high, and you can see subsequently it's just getting lower and lower. The bears are coming in quicker to push us down to the downside. So in essence, you can argue you're creating a bit of a triangle here, which if you enter that triangle, you could be breaking to the downside. So the bears are in control in this situation. If I bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see here on the hourly, you got rejected here by your EMA ribbon and heading to the downside. If we switch across to the 4 hour, just to give you a bit of a different view, you can see that clearly the 4 hour EMA ribbon is acting like strong resistance and sending us down. That is not great because it indicates that we could be losing the blue level and heading down towards 26,200. So we need to be prepared for that. Now, what does that mean for Fantom? Because Fantom is now sitting at 35 cents. Let me turn off the EMA ribbon here. Let's go on to the hourly. And the difference with Fantom is you saw when we entered this consolidation triangle here, Fantom afterwards managed to go on a nice run. This was when the news around Andre Cronje committing some GitHub commits went out and people started feeling confident again that Andre Cronje was involved with the project. You saw this run up to a high of 52. We've since saw that cool down to where we are now, which is about 35 cents. And the level I'm really looking at is this yellow level at 30 cents. That coincides with the pivot point 2 there. This would be your absolute worst target there at the bottom of the wedge. If Bitcoin starts heading to the bottom of the wedge, this would have to come into play at about 23. So 23 to 30 cents of the price targets. Again, you guys can go ahead and trade this on PRIMEXBT. Links in description if you're interested in trading that. So that's what I'm looking at here on Fantom. Crypto is in a difficult place right now. We know that. I've covered that off extensively. If you've not watched my video from earlier in the day, go watch that. There's 4 key factors which I go through, which are really weighing on this crypto market. And now the news has come out that equities are starting to rally. They've managed to find a bit of a bottom, right? And inflation looks like it's cooling down. Is that going to mean Bitcoin could start, being suppressed for a while because it's seen as a hedge against inflation? Or is it going to be, like we said, a risk-on trade that when money starts to flow into risk plays, it can start flowing into Bitcoin? We're going to find this out over the next couple of days, 2 weeks, because if the equity markets can sustain a rally, we're going to find out, is this decoupling for real? Or will Bitcoin follow the NASDAQ and start rallying with it? That's going to be the key thing for us right now. We're at the precarious level, like I said, sitting towards this blue line here at 28,600. Can we hold? Can we get back up to 31,000 and then 32? That's the only path out for crypto at this point. But so far, I have to be honest, the most likely situation from how the charts are setting up and the fundamentals are we could be heading to the downside. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick update with technical analysis on Fantom and Bitcoin. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes and subscribe. As always, if you want to trade any of these moves with me, check out PRIMEXBT, links in description. Use the coupon code Ijaz1 when you deposit, and you can get a bonus up to $7,000, which you can trade with. It's a free trade. You guys can start playing around, learning how to trade, and really understanding what the emotions are like, how to set a stop loss, how to take a take profit. If you guys want more videos about how to do that using PRIMEXBT, let me know in the description. I can set up those tutorial videos to walk you through how to place your first ever trades. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.